Hey guys, Alexa here with your weekly reading. Welcome. Today I'm doing a reading for the week of October 13th through October 19th of 2024. I am Sunday snuggly vibes today, so super cozy. And I pulled from two different decks today, and they're both tarot. And normally I don't feel like I want to use two tarot decks, but for whatever reason today I did. This reading is specifically channeled for Capricorn, so if you have major Capricorn placements, awesome. If you do not, but you're still feeling called to this reading or like you're looking for some guidance, it's probably because there's a nugget in here for you, or two. So yeah, please feel free to stay tuned. So, ow, I'm having a rough start with this one. Okay, my dears, so I pulled for you guys the Ace of Coins in reverse. I pulled the Six of Swords in reverse. I also pulled the oh my god, I pulled the Knight and the Queen of Wands in reverse as well. So a lot of reverse energy here. These first two cards, the Ace of Coins and the Six of Swords, both of these cards, when they are in the reverse or upside down as they appear, they come with a message of some kind of temporary setback, potentially some kind of obstacle. So I do feel like some of you are going to be navigating something in the way of like how to work through challenges, how to work through setbacks, how to work through things that maybe are a little bit unexpected. This doesn't mean that the things that you're working towards are not going to come to fruition. It's just acknowledging the energy of what it is to have a little bit of an obstacle or something to, there's gonna be an energy that's probably gonna be a little bit challenging. I'm gonna be honest, sorry. I'm sorry, not sorry, but also I do have advice on how to deal with it in the next reading. So there is good to come ahead, I promise. But with these cards, it looks like both of these in the upright position are some level of success, some level of security. The Ace of Coins is a lot about fresh starts, starting something new, new ventures, especially business ventures. And the Six of Swords is a little bit more about like success that will come after you have completed trials. So this is like beginning stage of success. This is like middle stage of success. You have access to both of these. Both of these energies are in the field for you. Having been pulled in reverse, it just means that there may be a little bit of friction in coming to that point. Also being in reverse, I do, especially for Ace of Coins, I'm getting an energy that for some of you, you may be in a position where you have been wanting to start something new, wanting to start a new business, wanting to reach this point of fulfillment, riches, whatever. Like there's something that you're probably feeling drawn towards and you're like, oh, I know I'd like to head in this direction, but for whatever reason, this may not even be like a thing that happens this week. This could be that you are acknowledging the obstacles that have been coming up or that are coming up around that thing. And so now you're in a position where you have the opportunity to actually deal with them this week. These, because again, it's reverse, I'm getting for a lot of you, this might be some self-talk. This might be some of your relationship with yourself. So just, I guess my very first, like before I move into anything else, my very first piece of perspective would just be if you're coming up towards an obstacle, especially if it is self-imposed within yourself, instead of saying, oh my God, there's an obstacle, I can't move forward, I guess I'll just turn around or I'll just sit here and wait or I'll stop here. Ask yourself, can I go around this? Can I move around this? Are there ways to work with this? This doesn't necessarily have to be like everything is halting the direction that you're moving in and you're going to get stuck. It's more of saying like, hey, a block's probably going to come up if it hasn't already or isn't already in your space and something. I feel like for some of you are already aware of this, but if it hasn't already emerged, it probably will. And so do you want to take the perspective of being the victim and saying, I guess I can't move forward? Or do you want to take a proactive position and say, what can I do about this? How can I work with this? The other two cards that I pulled the Queen of Wands, also, sorry, that one was also in reverse, and the Knight of Wands in reverse. When it comes to the Queen of Wands, my dears, this card, whether or not you pull it upright or in the reverse, does have themes of fertility. It does have themes of this sort of like charming, a very charming sort of a natural energy that also can yield success or fruition. So again, success is kind of a big theme in this reading, although there are some blockages to that. It does seem like that's coming forward, and fertility as well. With this card, there is the advice to make sure that you're balancing any kind of chaos, especially emotional chaos, with your rational mind. I feel like for a lot of you, when it comes to how am I going to work around these obstacles that might be coming up, how am I going to work around these negative self-talk, or whatever it is that might be sort of posing as an obstacle, for lack of a better word. The main advice with this card is to just make sure that you're paying attention to both your emotions and your logical, rational mind, and that you're able to weigh both of them, be able to pay attention to both of them. A caution with this is yielding a little bit more on the side of snobbery or being a little bit too like pinky up or a little too, I don't know, you don't want this to come from a pompous place. So being grounded, I feel like being grounded and in touch with yourself and in touch with your body and in touch with your emotions and in touch with your mind, like this level of being in touch with yourself will likely be very, very helpful in dealing with any possible obstacles that will come up. And if you are noticing obstacles this week or things that you're feeling like this is a really big setback, I would advise, based off of this card, that you take a step back before moving forward and say, am I connected to myself? Am I connected to all parts of myself? Or am I experiencing a disconnect? And is that something that I can work to mend or to fix before I decide how to move forward? So for the Knight of Wands, which I pulled in reverse, and then the Six of Swords, both of these cards have themes that can relate to travel, changing your environment. This could be on a micro level, such as you're remodeling your home, or you're redoing stuff, or even like spring cleaning in the fall, or something that involves changing your space or altering your space. On a macro level, this could also mean traveling abroad, going on a trip, going on a vacation, planning a trip or a vacation, even if you're not going this upcoming week. It could be something that's been on the back of your mind or that you're thinking about. So just be cognizant that that's likely going to be something in your space because we pulled the obstacle card. Maybe you've been experiencing some tension around this particular theme and you're saying, oh, do I even want to go? I don't know if I want to go. I don't feel ready. Whatever the theme is, there is something in the way of traveling or changing your environment. I also feel like this change of environment, this could also be changing of plans. It doesn't necessarily have to be your physical environment. It could be your mental environment and like what your structure was, what you thought was going to unfold, what your structure for your day was going to be. And then if you're traveling, it totally alters the structure of that. And even if you're not traveling and you're noticing like, wow, there's a huge rift in my plans now because of something that someone else did, or because I got sick, or because of XYZ, you name it. So I would definitely just say be aware of how you respond to any of those changes. Be cognizant that they may bring up some tension. Maybe some things will not quite go according to plan. Again, these obstacles are temporary setbacks. They're not things that are going to completely crash your life down or halt your progress forward in the long term. I think these are probably going to be pretty micro things for a lot of you, even if they feel big in the moment. Just keep in mind, I'm getting the 5-year rule, so I don't know, I'm just gonna leave it here if you've never heard it. One of my favorite rules is if it doesn't matter in 5 years, try to let it go within 5 minutes. If it's something that's gonna matter in 5 years, like a relationship changing or whatever, that's something that warrants a little bit more time and space. But if it's a thing that really 5 years time from now isn't gonna make a huge difference, try not to stress out over it for too long. Again, the Queen of Wands, we have encouraging you to be in touch with all parts of yourself, including your logical self, including your emotional self. So make sure you have room to acknowledge those feelings, acknowledge them, let yourself feel upset, confused, frustrated, whatever. Let yourself work through those, and then also remind yourself that you have this logical, rational brain that is also working for you and loves you and wants to take care of you. All these pieces of yourself want to take care of you. If you haven't done parts work, that might be useful for some of you this upcoming week as well. So where's the positive in all this, Alexa? What's going on? I pulled for you guys from my Luna deck the Strength card, and the coolest thing happened when I pulled this card. So I took it out of the pile, I put it on the desk, and it landed on the desk in reverse, and then it turned itself. I'm not even shitting. I could not make this up because my desk, it has this like weird surface, and I don't know if it caught on something. I don't know, but I put it down and it started in reverse, and then it went, and I was like, okay, so I guess it wants to be upright. So with this specific card having started in the reverse and having moved into, why is it not, mine's all blurry. Okay, I just want you to see the visuals. It's such a beautiful card. Because this card started in the reversal and then moved upright, I do feel like some of you are going to have a really positive shift this week, specifically in your relationship to your own inner strength. Likely in response to this, the question I asked when I pulled this card was how can we expect to deal with this? What is something that we can employ or utilize when we're moving into this week that would be helpful for dealing with these energies? And the Strength card is what came up. I need to slow down and drink some tea. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself now. Okay, readings just really excite me sometimes. So with the Strength card, I'm gonna read directly from the pamphlet. It's a pretty short read, luckily, if I can freaking find it. So this card reads, The Strength card reminds us that true power comes from within. Through patience, gentleness, and compassion, one can overcome obstacles. Literally says obstacles in here, which is funny because I was like, a theme of the first two cards. I'm going to repeat this, start to finish. Through patience, gentleness, and compassion. Those are your keys for this week, my dear. If you have to write anything on a board, those are the words. Patience, gentleness, and compassion. One can overcome obstacles without resorting to physical aggression. The woman and the lion that are in this card, they signify that we need to tame the beast within ourselves in order to find balance. In the reverse position, again, how it was originally popped out of the deck, struggle, anger, rage, pride, and force. So these may be some of the more superficial emotional experiences that you may have, but it shifted, as I noted, to the upright position as so, which are associated with inner calm, courage, control, and patience. So I do feel like you have really, really, really beautiful opportunities this week to deal with how you deal with complicating emotions, to deal with how you deal with obstacles and challenges, and to find a more peaceful approach. Because I pulled, honestly, the Strength and the Queen of Wands card are giving me very much like a similar energy of finding this inner balance, finding this inner patience, finding this inner strength within yourself that is not, it may be informed by emotions, but it is not completely rooted in emotions, and it involves some level of rationality. Again, taming that beast from within. So moving into this week, my dears, this is not meant to be an omen or anything that's ominous or going to, be a foreboding of negative things. This is just to encourage you when you come up against obstacles, which we all inevitably do. These could be on a big level or on a very small level. These could be very, very tiny. These could also be things that you're experiencing fully internally. This could have nothing to do with your external world, and you're just like, wow, I'm experiencing some emotional blockages this week when it comes to accomplishing my goals, posting on social media, calling my mom, talking with my boyfriend about that thing that was really challenging that I didn't want to talk with them about, going to my, whatever it is, something that feels like it is bringing up some level of tension or obstacle within yourself. You have a beautiful opportunity to work with that energy and to heal with that energy by acknowledging all the parts of yourself, the depths of how you feel, and also acknowledging your rational mind and having a good assertion on how you actually want to deal with these things. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate having you guys here. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, but you like having a little bit of perspective or guidance that's helpful sometimes, please make sure that you do. I post these readings every single week. And if you found this helpful, feel free to leave a comment and let me know which card resonated most, or at the very least, just a little thumbs up so that I know it's resonating. And without further ado, I love you guys, I appreciate you, and I will see you guys next week. Okay, bye.